Just a Zulu man.
Nico Jenkins, the most dangerous inmate in the world. Just judging by his looks, bro. This guy looks dangerous already.
Imagine a man so dangerous that he's
Damn.
sentenced to 450 years in prison.
450 years. Look at his looks. Look at the
Imagine a
look.
man so
Yo. His life is over, bro. He's never coming out.
dangerous that he's sentenced to 450 years in prison. A very manipulative and sinister individual who's a
So if the doctor starts saying things like he's incompetent, they just want to release him, bro.
huge threat to the outside world and even a menace behind bars. This is the story of Nico Jenkins, one of the scariest inmates to have ever lived. Years ago, Nico went viral all over the internet for his intimidating look and gained an online reputation of killing whoever looks at him. But how much of that is actually true, and what crazy thing has he done to be locked away for 450 years?
I wonder too, bro. I wonder what the hell he did to be locked up for this long. Why is he even still attending court? Because they're never going to release him. You should just let it go. You should just tell them, sentence me, bro. 450, that's basically life. It's more than life, bro.
To stab someone. Know that the worst of them all is
Wait, why did this thing?
true, and what crazy thing has he done to be locked away for 450 years? Nico's always had a troubled life. From a young age, he was a witness and victim of many traumatic experiences. I mean, just take a look at this guy's lineage. His family has
Oh, it's the entire lineage. It looks like they're all violent.
wreaked havoc in Omaha for generations. Anyways, needless to say, 7 of his close family members, like his mother, father, 3 sisters, uncle, and cousin, are all felons. We'll get
Oh, everyone in the family, it runs in the blood.
to what role all of them played in this soon, but just know that the worst of them all is Nico. Constantly revisiting juvie and mental facilities, he was never able to control himself. At the age of 7, he brought a loaded .25 caliber handgun to his elementary school.
Shit! As long as it didn't kill anyone, bro. Why did they let him out for this long?
And when he turned 11, he stopped regularly attending classes and was kicked out of group homes for getting into fights with everyone. Oh, and by the time he was 13, he pretty much got a taste of what it was like to stab someone. When I was 13, I didn't even know how to cut an apple. Anyways,
Same
Nico
here,
got
bro. 13 years I was pushing bricks as a truck outside and eating sand. Not stabbing people, bro.
involved with gangs very early on, and in 2003, at the young age of 15, he was sent to prison for 2 armed carjackings. During his time behind bars, he continued causing problems, and the court slapped on 2 extra charges, one for attacking a guard and the other for inciting a prison riot. But the next decision the judge made changed the course of many people's lives for the worst, because instead of those additional sentences running consecutively, the courts ordered them to run concurrently, which meant he received no additional time and only served his 10.5 years in prison. Fast forward to 2013, he was finally released, and instead of learning his lesson
They still release this guy, bro.
and reforming, he went through additional time and only served his 10.5 years in prison, which meant he received no additional time and only served his them to run concurrently, which meant he sentences running consecutively, the courts ordered them to run concurrently, which meant he received no additional time and only served his 10.5 years in prison. Fast forward to 2013, he was finally released, and instead of learning his lesson and reforming, he went on an absolute killing spree. I mean, seriously, this
Killing. Yo, bro, they shouldn't have released this guy to the public.
guy just doesn't stop, and a lot of this could have been avoided if the judge didn't implement the sentences like that. 11 days after becoming a free man, Nico shot and killed 2 random people, Juan Pena and Jorge Ruiz. But the real kicker here is that he did it with the help of his cousin and sister, using his family in order to lure the 2 men to the location. Both individuals were shot in the head and their wallets were stolen. Now, it doesn't stop there, cause 8 days later, he shot and murdered one of his old prison buddies, Curtis Bradford. What's weird is that a day prior to the incident, these two took a picture together. It's like, you can't even trust your own friends anymore. Anyways, the motive was simple.
Bro.
Nico's sister believed Curtis's friends were responsible for shooting up their house 6 months prior.
Wait.
Nico's sister believed Curtis's friends were responsible for shooting up their house 6 months prior. So the siblings set up a trap for Curtis and lured him under the impression that they were gonna rob someone else. But instead, it turned out to be a hit on him. A couple of days go by and Nico's back at it again. This time pulling over a random SUV and shooting a woman 4 times. The victim was a mother of 3 by the name of Andrea Kruger. And once again, a member of his family was involved. This time it was his uncle Warren Levering. So we have...
Bro, everyone in this family is messed up. Everyone.
His sister's cousin and now uncle who assisted him with the murder. But there was actually one more person. His mother, Lori Jenkins. She was the one who bought him the ammo in the first place and knew about everything that happened. Not too long after, Nico was finally arrested due to an unrelated threats charge. And as investigators put 2 and 2 together, they realized that the murders were all linked to him.
I got you. What do you mean you got me? I got your DNA at the murder scene. I got your DNA in the car. Sir. I got the weapon. I got Nico Jenkins.
Now, just because he was taken off the streets doesn't mean it was over, because he quickly began his tirades behind bars. In an 8-hour interrogation, Nico confessed to all 4 of the murders, claiming it was just a sacrifice for the Egyptian serpent god Apophis. Yeah,
Nah, this is crazy beliefs, bro.
apparently the serpent spoke to him and told him to do all of that. The courts were trying to pass a death sentence onto Nico, but while in prison, he got his hands on a razor and carved Satan into his forehead, then split his tongue in half to resemble a snake.
Did it himself, bro. Yo, yes.
And the most insane thing he did was use a guard's badge to destroy his... Yeah, he was trying to make his look like a serpent. Anyways, all of his actions raised eyebrows as it made him seem insane, cause no one in the right mind would do something like that. The judge questioned the warden at the prison about how Jenkins even got the razor in the first place. The warden stated that he didn't know how he got them and said he couldn't guarantee it would happen again. I mean, it's a known fact that inmates always smuggle things into...
He couldn't guarantee it would not happen again. Bro, the guards are not doing their job if they cannot guarantee someone will not do something like this again.
Prison and have access to a lot of stuff they shouldn't. But you're telling me that they couldn't even stop a man that was in solitary confinement for 23 hours of the day while he was being checked up on every 15 minutes by a guard and had a camera placed in his cell? Not to mention he wasn't allowed to interact with other prisoners. On one other occasion, he even managed to grab a set of 7 handcuff keys and swallow them. Just taking one look at this guy and hearing about the stuff he did while knowing about his family and past, it's easy to assume that the justice and health system failed him. But we're gonna pull a reverse Uno card here. Cause you see, after being evaluated by multiple state psychiatrists, they all came to a conclusion that Nico was just faking his mental problems.
Yeah, bro. This is fake. He just wants to go out and kill again.
Despite his barbaric behavior, they believed that he was extremely cunning and knew very well that if he was deemed insane or incompetent, then he could get away from his death penalty and be placed in a psych ward instead. The man was essentially fighting for his life at that point. And due to these circumstances, the court cases were delayed and there was a brief period of time where it looked like Nico was about to escape from his ultimate punishment.
Not fit to face the death penalty. A ruling today changes the next step in the case of convicted killer Nico Jenkins. The death penalty is not a sentencing option tonight for the man convicted of killing 4 people in Omaha.
However, in May of 2017, a panel of 3 judges had to make the final decision. The only way this death penalty could be implemented was if all 3 judges agreed unanimously to the death sentence.
Therefore, this panel finds that the death penalty is appropriate, should be, and is hereby given for each of the 4 murders by the defendant.
It was finally official. After many years of terror, one of the most cold-blooded criminals was finally getting what he deserved. Now, even if he didn't get the death penalty, he would still have to serve 450 years in prison. And
I don't think he's gonna live that long, bro. No one lives that long.
with that being said, I know this video was a heavy one, so what are your thoughts on Nico Jenkins as a whole and his entire story? Let me know in the comment sections below. I have a...
Should have been taken out earlier. I'm out, bros. This is scary. Nico is scary. I'm out. I'm going to watch another video of a less scarier person, hopefully. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.